Hey guys, Joshua Boswell here, founder of Copywriter Marketer, and I've got a question for you. When you're negotiating a deal, when you're putting a deal together, you're trying to close a project, or you're trying to even capture people's attention so you can do a project with them, how do you stay in the alpha position so you can close more deals and not come across as manipulative or as a big fat jerk, right? Because nobody likes feeling pressured or manipulated, or you're doing little mind control things on them. Nobody likes that stuff. So how do you do that and still stay in the alpha position? Well, there is one very simple thing that you can do, and I discovered this a number of years ago as I was working on my first major client. And I was calling around and talking to these major corporations, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies, and I was trying my best to close big deals, because I tried closing small deals, and that was really painful, and they didn't respect me, and they didn't pay me very much, and there was it just wasn't cool, and it wasn't profitable, and I didn't want to do it. So I decided to focus on bigger projects. And I remember calling up this one particular company, a company that I had really wanted to do stuff for. It was a major, well, I'll tell you who it is. It was National Geographic. And National Geographic, from the time I was a kid, I had National Geographic magazines and maps and star maps and pictures of the moon and all kinds of stuff on my wall from National Geographic. And I really wanted to close a deal with these guys. And I got on the phone with the director. I got in touch with the director, and we started having a conversation. And he starts just grilling me with questions. And we talked for probably 20 or 30 minutes. And at the end of it, all he had done is he had lobbed a couple of questions at me, and I had done all the talking. And I had tried to answer questions and flag concerns and try to prove myself and all this kind of stuff. And I got off the phone and I realized I knew nothing about him. I knew nothing about what he needed. I knew nothing about his projects. I just knew that I had spent a half hour being grilled on all these questions and been defending myself and fighting for my life the whole time. And really that was the essence of being in a beta position. And I remember the first time I played my dear wife, Margie, racquetball. Now, Margie's an amazing racquetball player. She played on BOU's racquetball team for a little bit and has done some just very athletic, very great on the court. And first time I played her racquetball, she stood in the middle and just, lob here, lob there, here. And I ran all over the place with like a chicken with my head cut off, sweating to death. And at the end, I didn't score any points. We played 3 games. First time we ever played 3 games right in a row. And I scored 2 points all 3 games. That was on the last thing. And I think because she was just trying to be nice to me, right? So that's how I felt when I was talking to National Geographic. That's how I felt when I was talking to some of these other bigger clients. And I realized this had to stop. I was in the beta position and they were walking all over me. But I didn't want to come across as a jerk, and I didn't want to try to use, manipulative mind tricks or a bunch of NLP stuff to try to, dig into their brain and get them to figure out what I was trying to think. There had to be a different way. And as I thought through how I could take control of the conversation and how I could stay in the alpha position so that from day one, from the initial conversation, I could make an impact and I could close more deals and I could set myself up for even future deals. Now, I learned a specific way to handle this, and I want to teach you all about it. In fact, I've put together a lengthy, in-depth training on how the psychology of how marketers think and what they want to see when they hire writers. And I've put all that together, and you can get it at jtbportfolio.com. So www.jtbportfolio.com. And JTB is my initials, Joshua Thomas Boswell. And so jtbportfolio.com, and you can get all the training there and more in depth. But let me share with you one little piece of that puzzle. And the piece of that puzzle is how you stay in the alpha position without coming across as a jerk or being manipulative. And here's how you do it. You just have to remember this one little phrase that says, he who asks the questions controls the conversation. Now, I want you to think about every conversation you've ever had in your life and think about how the content And the insights and the conversation flow was all defined by the questions that got asked. And so if you learn to ask really good, effective questions, you can learn to control just about any conversation. And again, I go into more depth on what kinds of questions to ask and how to ask them in my free 1-hour training that I'm providing for you, which you can get at going jtbportfolio.com. You can go over there and grab that right now if you want. And no cost, just sign up for a time and boom, you can jump in, get the training, no strings attached. Plus, I give you some insights on how you can use LinkedIn more effectively, some of my secrets to LinkedIn, and also how you can put together an amazing portfolio that literally will transform your ability to land clients. But let me just share with you an insight really quick on the kinds of questions that you can ask. You see, the kinds of questions that you ask are centered on you searching for a way to be of service for them. I talked about this yesterday about being a servant leader. And so if you focus on, okay, what do I need to know to be able to serve these guys, to write an amazing bit of copy? What do I need to know right now to help them hit their goals and their dreams and their aspirations? What do I need to know right now to be of service to them in terms of helping them to be more profitable, or to land more clients, or to feel better about themselves, or to get kudos from their boss? I did a project where the project went so well, the copy that I did went so well that this guy got a promotion, and that was great. I was super excited for him. I was glad that I was part of that growth process for him. But I did that by asking those kinds of questions, being super curious, being into who he was and what he was doing and helping him out. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to set yourself aside and learn to ask good, quality, effective questions. Now, I've got 3 very specific questions that I use regularly, or types of questions. And when you jump onto my live training, I'll dive into those with you. But it's basically finding out what they want. It's finding out why they want it. And it's finding out what it looks like when they've got it. And I learned these questions from my great mentor, a guy named R.C. Peck, that taught me a lot about how people's brains work and about how to interact with people in a way that serves both of you and isn't manipulative and isn't like over domineering, but still allows you to stay in control and to be part of the solution. So you can get all of this stuff. You can dive in. I give it to you, give you the whole insights on this at jtbportfolio.com. And you also get, like I said, the secrets that I've got to LinkedIn, and you can get all that stuff over there. So my big takeaway from today, or your big takeaway from this little session, should be you need to find out how to ask better questions. The person asking the question controls the conversation, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to control the conversation in loving, useful, servant leadership-oriented way, but still control the conversation so that you can continue to close more deals, to create more wealth, and to have more success in your life. Cool? All right, go out there and fill your life with things that matter most. Talk to you later. Bye now.